All right, so Diablo 4 has been live for 10 days now. Blizzard said that it passed 350 million hours playtime in just those 10 days. So what are we expecting in the next month? So according to Blizzard, Season 1 details coming early in July, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel and follow us for news on that. We'll be covering that as the news comes in on Twitter, whatever, etc. Twitch, YouTube, however we get the information, we will get it back to you. Okay, so what I gathered from the dev Campfire event, these are the important things that I broke down and just made a list of, and we're going to go over them real quick. So first of all, gems. Gems will be collected as a resource and no longer require bag space and/or stash space to store. This means they will be a resource like veiled crystals. They will go into your material storage and not into your inventory storage. This is going to save a considerable amount of space just because of this change. Very good change. They plan to implement this before the Season 1 launch. So be looking forward for that. That's a really big change. Going to save us a lot of space. Gems take a lot of space. Okay, next change. They are removing certain caps on crafting mats like veiled crystals, which is currently capped at 10,000. This is going to be raised. They didn't say what it's going to be raised to, but they did say it's going to be raised. We are currently sitting at cap, so I understand that they need to raise this because 10,000 cap is kind of low, and we can't like put them in storage or anywhere else, so we're just hard stuck at 10k. They did say they're going to adjust this, and they did say they're going to do this by Season 1, so expect this to be changed very soon. Expect to have higher caps on materials like veiled crystals. Very nice to see. Now, this is a very big change. A lot of people are asking about this, including myself. We were wondering if Renown is going to carry over into season play. So what they said is, if you have completed your Renown before the season starts, you will carry it over to season play, and you will have the first 2 bars of Renown unlocked, and just have to revisit certain waypoints. Well, you have to revisit all the waypoints except the major cities. Okay, you're gonna have to revisit the waypoints. They'll be grayed out on your map, and the fog of war will be lifted. And you'll have to do some side quests to fill up the rest of the bars of Renown. So you'll have 2 of the bars to start off with when season starts, if you've completed your Renown prior to season and got your Paragon points, etc. And then once season starts, you'll have the 2 bars, and then you'll have to go around and collect all the waypoints again that aren't major cities. You'll have to revisit some side quests and stuff like that, and get the extra Renown that you need to make up for the extra bars to get your Paragon back. But at least we do get to keep it, and the fog of war is going to be cleared. We don't have to deal with that. And as well, they said that fog of war for alts will be removed. So if your main has cleared the map of the fog, your alt will now have a clear map as well, which is very nice because I did complain about that in one of my issues. So very nice that they listened and fixed that. So what this will do, what is being able to carry Renown over into the season will do for us? Well, this is going to save us a lot of time, and no one wanted to re-grab all the Lilith statues in the first place or revisit every part of the map again just to lift the fog. And speaking of maps, alts are, like I said, are going to have the fog of war removed in the coming patch. So if your main has the fog removed and lifted on your map, then your alts, any alt you make on the Eternal Realm, will have the same fog lifted and same map. So that is very nice to see. Good job fixing that. Good job. So another major buff that they are doing is to Nightmare Dungeons. Okay, they really want to push Nightmare Dungeons. They want Nightmare Dungeons to be end game, quote unquote. They want that to be the drive of the game. They want that to be your goal, I assume. They want that to be the place you farm, level up, etc. So they are buffing the Nightmare Dungeons with XP values, and will also be able to open sigils and use a port directly to that dungeon, which is essential to be able to chain Nightmare Dungeons for XP, gear, and to level up your glyphs. Now, what this means for us is normal dungeons should be worth far less XP when this goes into when they implement this into the game, than running a Nightmare Dungeon after this patch is implemented. So they're trying to make the Nightmare Dungeons worth doing over the normal ones, as the normal ones are better XP right now if you are in a group and you're chaining them really fast. So they did do a lot of nerfs and changes to the dungeons and mob densities and things like that. And I did address that. I did say that they should have just touched the values of XP on the mobs and stuff like that, and shouldn't have removed the elites completely. Removing content out of the game is kind of a mistake to me. They shouldn't have done that. They should have just actually changed values and not touch the actual content of the game. But you know, it's their game, they do what they do. So anyways, I see a lot of people complaining about density and saying they're not liking having to use cooldowns on 1 to 3 mobs to run into the next room or two and have skills on cooldown when an actual pack appears. It feels like the devs want players auto attacking for energy, mana, spirit, etc. every other mob or something like that. No one is trying to play auto attack Andy waiting for energy and running around like a chicken with their head cut off, waiting for skills to come off cooldown because you got to kill that one solo mob in the room before this room, and you had to use your cooldowns to do it. So yeah, that's really obnoxious. I think they should not have any type of single pack mobs. There shouldn't be little explodey guys off in the corner and, you know, random just solo mobs just here and out through the dungeons. Like, it's really obnoxious, especially when you're playing a druid. I mainly play druid now, and we have quite long cooldowns. Especially our cooldowns are refreshed by killing things, and if there's only one thing to kill, well, we're not refreshing any cooldowns, and we're actually just wasting cooldowns, and now we have to just auto attack Andy until our cooldowns are up. So really obnoxious. I wish they would just address the mob density. Kriparian said something about, oh, if they have more mob density, the mobs will be dumb and run into each other, blah blah blah, forehead, whatever. Just be quiet, Crip. You don't know what you're talking about. Literally, you were the only one who doesn't want more mob density, dude. There's literally a billion other people in this world who want more mob density. You're like the only one who doesn't want more. So I don't know, dude. Just like relax with saying that. Like, you're a big content creator, so you need to chill out with what you say, bro. We literally everybody wants more mob density, so don't, please, like, just don't tell Blizzard it's fine. Now, it is great to see all this hard work being done by Blizzard teams, but they have failed to address one of my biggest issues, which is the storage space and bag space. They did mention the gems, making them into crafting materials, which would save some space, but it's still not enough space, in my opinion. You need more space to build multiple builds without having to make mules and to carry sets of gear on them. So currently in my situation, Druid has like 6 or 7 builds. You got the swipe build, storm build, tornado build, pulverized build, bulwark build. There's so many builds with Druid, so there's not enough space to store every single set of gear without making mules. So that's one of my biggest complaints within the game right now, and they did not address this. They literally said they just didn't address the size of space that we get. So I don't know if they're going to sell it to us, if they even plan on adding more space or what, if they just, you know, expect us to just keep using mules to store our, you know, other sets of gear for other builds, etc. So yeah, I mean, that's very limiting. I hope they change that. And yeah, let's move on to the next part. So they need to buff the butcher drops. They need to reduce the amount of events inside of dungeons, such as cursed chests, shrines, and the dumb 5-minute events that you cannot speed up at all, dude. You literally, like, you start an event, you talk to Chick, 3 mobs spawn, you kill 3 mobs, right? You use 1 cooldown, kill 3 mobs. Now you have 2 more skills. 3 more mobs spawn, you use another cooldown, you know. And it just keeps chaining like that, and it spawns really, really slow. Then maybe like the next wave would be 5 mobs, 1 elite, and then maybe the next wave would be like 5 mobs, 1 elite, and a champion. You know what I mean? And then it just like builds up, and it just gets it's too slow. Like, they need to accelerate these events. They need to increase the rewards of these events. The amount of murmuring oogles or whatever you get from them needs to be increased. Everything. It takes way too long, and then running into the butcher, killing him, getting what, like 2 sigils and maybe a legendary drop. That's dog water, dude. Like, he should be dropping multiple different aspects. I'm not saying, you know, high item power guaranteed or anything. I'm just saying he should be dropping like you know, at least 200,000 gold worth of stuff or something, you know what I mean? Make it worth killing them. Just, you know, just buff those things. And then also we have the treasure goblin, who barely ever drops anything good ever. I don't think I've ever gotten anything good from the treasure goblin. I haven't gotten the skins or anything from the treasure goblin, so I don't even try to go for them anymore. I've killed, I don't know how many I've killed. I got the, you know, I don't know, I lost track. They're useless. Like, buff all that. Buff butcher, reduce the amount of events in dungeons, curse chests and shrines, and then buff the events or increase the speed at which they progress. Like, instead of a 5-minute event, make it 30 seconds or maybe even 20 seconds, you know, something not ridiculous, where you can literally AFK and make coffee for type stuff. Yeah, so between the butcher goblin and the events in the dungeon, these should all be buffed on drops and gold. Like, we need, dude, there's not enough gold drops in my opinion. We don't get enough gold. Having to trade or boost people for enough gold to keep rolling items is dog water. Like, I don't want to have to trade and or boost people to have enough gold to roll, like, say my necklace, which is like 22 million or something, to re-roll it, right? That's insane. Like, is world tier 5 gonna bring us more gold drops? Are we gonna yield more gold per kill? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how much more? Like, you know, are we still in, like, you know, the very beginning of the game where like 2,000 gold is like nothing compared to, like, you know, let's just say example tier 10 will drop like, you know, 200,000 gold instead of 2,000. If that's the case, then I can't complain, because we're only in, you know, tier 4 right now. We're not even in tier 5. So if that's the case, fine, good, great. But as it is right now, enchanting is super expensive, especially if you have a really good piece, like really good item that you want to enchant, and you've been trying to get that one enchant that you want, and you've rolled like 20, 30, 40, 50 times, and you still haven't gotten it, and you're sitting there and you want to click that button, but it says 22.5 million to re-roll this item, and you're just like, dang, 22.5 million. If you were to grind that, that would take you hours, like actual hours, unless you wanted to sell gear and or just like do like power levels or something, which not everybody wants to do. So I think they should address this in a little bit, not too much though, because then the gold, you know, the gold sellers will go outrageous or whatever. But you know, aside from that, that's what I got from the campfire, and I just wanted to talk about it real quick. I just wanted to share my thoughts about it, because I didn't say anything. I literally just like took the most important points of the campfire discussion, posted them on the YouTube, and let you guys see it for yourselves raw, and you know, just what they said. I didn't want to interrupt them or anything, but I wanted to give my 2 cents on this topic, so here it is. If you guys got any questions, opinions, comments, or anything like that, please leave them below. Don't forget to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.